All right, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy Tack here with a 2K update video. I do play 2K on the PC, so this is it's not primarily for the PC community, but I do want to be like, keeping the PC community updated. Even though I kind of feel it's the same game, which I don't know why they can't crossplay. I kind of feel like it's the same game besides PC having a little bit more stutters, but that can also be due to hardware. So, because all PCs and kind of like and Xboxes are kind of made the same pretty much, PCs aren't. Everybody's PC could have a different rig. So, with that being said, it could like your game could be different. It could have a different experience from somebody else's. Um, so that's probably the biggest thing. That's the difference, and maybe that's kind of why they won't be able to do crossplay. Sorry about that. Thought this was on the old time. Anyways, like I was saying, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just the stutters, but I think that could be optimized a little bit better. I think if they focus on the PC port just a little bit and optimize it, I think they can optimize it because it's not like the game is completely broken. It's just actually being in the park and stuff like that, which is because of the FPS and all that stuff. If they could just optimize that, I think the 2K version on PC it's nothing wrong with it. It looks just as great. The game runs just as great. The shooting, everything's the same. So I don't see why they wouldn't be able to do a crossplay. So I'm really, really, really pushing for crossplay next year. I really am. Like I'm really pushing for crossplay next year. I wish this game would have been crossplay because this is one of the best 2Ks in a while. But like I'm really pushing for crossplay, and I hope somehow, some way we could get that done. And yeah. But I digress. I'm not gonna be too much on that. I do want to talk about the game itself. And lately, I mean, not lately, I feel like since the release of the game, I think the issue has been, the issues have been tempo shooting, 7-4s, defense sucks, baiting, and if you guys got anything else, throw it out there. But I think that was primarily the biggest issues with the game. Which is not that bad when you think about it. 4 things that are an issue. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. But, they can, they should fix it for the best experience of this year. I think if we were to, my personal, idea would be to nerf animations for 7-4s to nerf them would be to make the animations slower for them and or not accessible at all. So certain crossovers, or because obviously the way you move and the stiffness is tied to agility. So if they're not able to move quickly or be as agile, agility, even and with the height, then their shooting and all that stuff is gonna go down. I don't think we really need to nerf them to the ground, but just a bit, I guess, because the defense sucks so much on their height. Like unless you are like a 7-1, because I'm not even gonna say you have to be 7-4. I think if you're a 7-1 and you always jumping, yeah, you're gonna get a contest. But like if I'm like 7-2, 7-1, and I got my hands up, that's a contest. I don't know if you guys like that's a contest, and it's like they're just shooting right over that. As from what I've seen, I mean, like with my games, they're just shooting over it. So, that's the only thing I could say about the 7-4s. The fading. I mean, I was telling my friends this. Like, I've been playing 2K for a while. It's not like I'm brand new to 2K. I've been playing 2K for a while. In 2K13, you can like, if you guys don't believe me, you guys can load it up for yourself. Just go play with K. I mean, I used to play with KD, and you could just fade left, right, left, right, all game. Hall of Fame difficulty. Like I was playing and I dropped 90, 98. Like, and obviously there was no my career back then, but like that was the challenge for us, Hall of Fame. Like with me and my guys, they like we played against each other, but we also played on Hall of Fame, like to compete against the computers because we had nothing else, or unless we were competing against each other. But it was also on Hall of Fame because that was the hardest difficulty. So if you could make those shots there, you're gonna make anything else against on those other levels, right? On the other difficulties. So fading has always been around. It's always been a thing. They just never took it out, and I don't think you can take it out because it's a part of the game. But like the nerfing of it, and I'm not gonna speak too much on it because I didn't play the last couple 2Ks. But I don't know if they've, because I heard somebody say like, oh, the fading, the fading used to have like a different setting or overall or whatever that thing is, like, you know, like how you have your 3 point and your mid-range or whatever. It used to be its own category, and if that's the case, then that's probably how they try to solve it. But like, that's, I could understand how that becomes difficult, so I'm not even gonna kill them for that. Like, I'll be too hard on them for that. But like, if they haven't tried to fix that, I mean, guys, like, the fading is kind of bad. I don't think that's different if we have a my career game, but I mean, in the park, and not saying that you can never fade. You definitely could fade. Fading behind the half court, crazy. Like, that's crazy. Fading at the corner is more understandable than fading at half court. I don't think that should be possible. But hey, you know, I mean, I'm not. I think that's just, that can be fixed. So I'm not even here to like, oh, you guys suck. No, I think that can be fixed. That can be fixed. So those two things I think need to be like looked at properly, the 7/4s and the fading. And I think me personally, I don't shoot tempo. I didn't play last year, so I don't know when they added this tempo shooting thing. And don't take it personal. If you tempo shoot, you're making whites. Just if don't take it to personal, and don't kill me for, I don't care either way. But you are making whites, and if you had a problem with whites being made in the previous 2Ks, then how can you advocate for something that's basically allowing you to make whites? Because like again, and I wasn't playing the last 2K, so somebody, my friend said you had to make both of the green bars on the tempo shooting back then. Why did they change that? I don't get that. Why did they change that? They should have just left that way, so that you have to green both of them, and then cool. Like, I don't see, like, if you're always greening both of them, I legit have no issue. I think it's easier, obviously, but I don't have an issue. But if you're greening one and you're making the other, that's literally making whites. Just saying. So I don't see how you can have an issue with that. And don't get me, I'm not gonna get started on how whites are actually viable because they're a real thing in real life, but we're not gonna get too deep into that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to speak on, like my experience, my ideas on how they could fix it and what's the problems. Obviously I feel like the sentiment in the community is the same, so I'm not like no, it is what it is. Give me 1 second, sorry. So I did just want to go over the patch with you guys, though. At the very least, we go over the patch. And all right, there you go. So we have 2K26. This was September 22nd. This is gonna be, and there's gonna be another patch, I know for sure. Right before, I mean, in season 2, there's gonna be another patch. But this was the defense patch, and there was a buff to defense in with this patch, because I'm 6'2". My guard is 6'2". I do have a 6'8" guard that I have. I just created him 3 days ago. But my main guard, my main build is a 6'2" guard. Before this patch, I was telling my friends how I could, because I don't think I'm that trash at defense. I think I'm all right. So like, I was playing decent defense. I was like, oh look, I'm actually playing decent defense. I'm getting some steals. Like, even before the patch, I was like, I'm getting some steals. Again, I'm 6'2", so it's like, it wasn't like I'm expected to do all the defense, right? But I was still playing my part. I was still doing my part. But anybody like 6'5", like, it was killer. It was a problem, obviously. With the mascots, I feel, and I've told my friends this, I really do feel like it adds on like an inch or two. So I'm 6'2". I feel like with the mascot suit on, any of them, I'm like 6'4", and I could start guarding 6'4". Maybe it's all in the head, but I promise you that I was keeping up with the 6'4" in the park. Like, he actually hands up in his face, keeping up with him. Almost got a tip block, everything. So it's like, I do think that's a way to combat that as well. But with this patch, I literally stole from 6'5" guards with my mascot suit on. Block and a steal. Black happened in black happened without mascot suit on in rec. Steel happened in park, but that's, I'm not gonna lie, steals happen often. Like it's not that, like it's harder, but it's not too hard. You can still get to like sometimes the body block and stuff like that. So the steals can happen, but the straight strip steal happened to me twice since this update has actually been better. So I'm gonna say that much. Defense has definitely gotten better, 100%. I don't not like, so when they say slightly reduce the impact of height mismatches on contested coverage, I agree. I definitely agree with them. They're not bullshit. They're not bullcrapping about that. Like, shout out to them. They definitely fixed that. Slightly increase the effectiveness of strong contests, which again, I think jumping is the main way to contest, like I said earlier. But I think hands up should count if you're at a certain range. If I'm 6'2", yeah, 6, and I'm guarding a 6'5", 6'6", yeah, my hands up it should do something, quote unquote, but not really. I have to jump. But if I'm 7'1", 7'2", and I'm guarding a 7'3", 7'4", 7'2" to 7'3", hands up instantly is a contest. How is that not a contest? My hands are right in your face. Yeah, it's not like I'm 6'2" trying to guard a, no, like my hands are in your face. So I think that should be how they do it. Like height with the hands up, like that's how it should work. I think that's pretty simple. But when they say that the shooter's green window more before, how does that work when you have tempo? I don't feel like that affects it at all. But again, whatever. No changes have been made to shooting difficulty, shooting mechanics, or any other gameplay systems. We will continue to monitor games across various modes and skill levels. This update will be applied. Blah blah blah. No problem. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Nothing spectacular. But yeah, I think that the game definitely got a good defensive boost with this update, and I'm looking forward to a shooting, hopefully fade and tempo nerf. That would be the biggest thing. But I had somebody's giving me a call. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. It's bad timing. But yeah, I'm looking forward to 2K this year. I'm championing it on PC. I'm hoping that like we get a crossplay, like somehow, some way we get that happening. Cause I would love to play with my friends and not have to go and purchase a console. That would be fantastic. But I really would really fucking, that tempo shooting, I don't think it's gonna get nerfed. I think it's something that's gonna be implemented for the rest of the year. Obviously, it's a gameplay mechanic, but fading, I think that could get nerfed. I think that could get really worked on. But we'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to the next patch. Looking forward to season 2. Basketball Gods is today, so if you are playing today, go knock that out. I hope you somehow win it. Maybe not all of you are gonna be able to win it. That's just the reality of it. But if you win it, drop a like, sub to the channel. That'd be nice. Love you guys. You guys be safe. You guys be easy. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be safe. Peace.